Hey, how's it going, guys? Man, what a mess of an update. So, let's talk about what's going on, why I took down the video yesterday, and I'm going to show you how you can still work like you did before with just a little adjustment, okay? So, the video yesterday, I took it down because it was my honest user experience. And it was honest me just sitting down and trying to work this out. But I didn't have all the information. I didn't know exactly what it was I was trying to do, and it didn't serve any purpose because they keep doubling down saying, hey, this is going to be a change that's here to stay. There's no point arguing with this stuff, right? And I didn't explain myself very well on my frustration with this stuff. So very quickly, here's my big point with all of this, and I'm just going to move on, right? And it's this. So if you are starting a project right now, you don't have an issue with this, okay? Everything's fine for you. If you have a finished project, then you also don't have an issue with this because everything works, right? Now, it's the people in the middle that are getting screwed by this change because of this. Look at how many variables I have. You can say, hey, it's the same variable, you just need to declare it once. But that's not the whole story now, is it? It's that these are scenes. These are scene variables. The reason I used the scene variable, it's because I could make an external event, put it on a scene, link it to a scene, and that would work because you'd create the scene variable for that scene that I was linking to. Okay? Does that make sense? This worked. This was good. This is why I didn't use a global variable, right? I used the scene. I was going through the wiki guide, and it was talking about make a scene variable. I was like, okay, I know what you mean. I know that this is going to work. I know that if I want to use it on a different scene, I can just link it and it will work. GDevelop has been around for years. I would assume that if they didn't want you to use undeclared variables, that this would have been changed a long time ago and not now, right? Not now out of the blue. So I was confident in making my project. So this was a big issue for me because now I can't use it that way. I can't link it to a scene and it's going to work. Well, it's going to work now because I have the old variable still on my project. But for me to update my project and for me to start using the new stuff, I'm going to have to make sure that, stuff doesn't conflict in some way. I'm going to have to change every single one of these. I don't just need to declare them because, again, they're scenes. And if I declare the scene variable, it's only going to work for that specific scene. I would have to make it on every single scene that I work on. I would have to declare the same variable on that scene as well, which is a pain, and I'm not going to do. And this is also going to be a pain to change all of this stuff. Now, I'm starting to see some of the benefits that they're talking about. For example, right now, right on this top one, I changed these to the newer ones, right? So now, for example, this one's a global because I declared it as a global. If I change the X from a global to a scene, this right here is going to update and I'm not going to have to change anything. I'm not going to have to go and delete the old ones and change it from a scene to a global. I don't have to do that, which is great. And like I said, it is amazing if you're just now starting. If you're making a project right now, this is a good change. Okay? I can see that now. I can see the usefulness of this. This is what we're talking about, the scope of the variable. So this makes sense to me. But at the same time, I just declared this as a global. So now I want to use these variables as globals. But because these did not auto update, because if they did, it would break the games that are already done, right? Because your variables are not declared, so they would not work. So people would update and suddenly it's like, hey, my game doesn't work, you broke my game. Okay? And there'd be a lot more upset people. But it's like I said, it's the people in the middle. So now I'm going to have the work to change all of this stuff onto the new variable system. Which honestly, it's depressing the crap out of me. every time I look at this and every time I think what I want to do, it's like I don't want to do it. It's so much. This isn't even half of it. Because because the way I work is I make globals, well, globals that I actually needed to be globals, right? For example, stuff that I want to save, stuff that I want to carry on between scenes, like player level, amount of items that you carry, that kind of stuff I declare and I use as globals because that's how I thought it was supposed to be, right? And I don't use every single little variable that I create, for example, a boolean that just opens and closes a menu. I don't put it as a global because then it would start cluttering the global page, and every time I need to go there, it's just this big mess, right? There was no need for it. And again, like I said, I thought if this was a change that they really wanted to do because reasons, they would have done it already, not now when it's GDevelop 5, right? You'd think they've done it at GDevelop 2 or something like that, right? But no, they decided now, so we're going to be the ones to have to deal with this crap. Now, I can start seeing why this is so appealing. And before I start rambling on too much, let me show you how you can still use undeclared variables, sort of, but at the same time, it's going to destroy their argument that this is for beginners and so that you don't make mistakes, because you're still going to be able to make mistakes and you're still going to be able to use the old variable system, sort of. Now, check this out. So I go here. I'm going to create a new variable. And sorry, I'm going to have to zoom in. I know there's people that don't like this stuff, but sorry, my eyes, right? So variable. So now I choose the only thing that we have, which is this one. Now we have a massive list that's already open, and I hate it. But if you click off, there you go. So now we have the set to add, subtract, all this stuff. This is useless, right? Because it's assuming we're making a number variable. So I'm going to click here on the side, and I'm going to make a global. So in this global, I'm going to hit add a variable. Where's my variable? There you go. It's right at the bottom. So let's change this to something like global. It doesn't matter what you put, right? And we're going to change from number to structure. Now check this out. Here's something I learned yesterday. Because I've never said I'm some sort of guru. I know what I know, and I'm still learning. So because it's a structure, you can already tell that it's asking you what kind of child variable would you like to create. Now it's giving you, is it a number? Is it a text? Is it a boolean? Is it whatever, right? So now I can do global dot variable, or, instead of variable, like dot whatever, like whatever. Just to exemplify that you can put whatever it is you want. And now, which kind of variable do I want? Do I want a number, a string, or a boolean? Let's say a boolean. And I want it to be true. Okay, cool. So now press OK. So now I have my boolean. Now check this out. I can copy paste this, even though it's the new one. It doesn't say boolean there, which I'm not too happy about because I liked seeing, change boolean variable. Sorry, but it is what it is. Anyways, so change it whatever for my variable. Press enter, and there you go. Now I have 2 booleans, and I don't need to declare these. So you can still do as many as you want. Copy paste this, and now it's like, okay, I want text. Oh, but that's a boolean. So you just double click, and then you go from boolean, you change that to text, choose an operator, set to you guys suck. Not you guys. You know who I mean. You know exactly who I mean. But yeah, that works. See, and I don't need to declare these. I can go like that. It still sucks. Text 2. Set to whatever, right? This still sucks. But it's there and it works, right? It's extra steps, but you can still make it work with a structure. Now, before Ian mentioned this, I had no idea what the heck he was talking about when he talked. You can just create a structure. But if you make the structure, the option to select what kind of variable, the variable type shows up. Why couldn't they make it here? Why couldn't I have like a type here for whatever reason? You know? It's I don't get it. Wait, why was that one set to true? Oh, it's because I changed it to a boolean for experimentation's sake. But yeah, that's how you can still work with undeclared variables. So it doesn't matter what you put on here. You can make mistakes. You can do whatever. And there you go. It still works. So I don't really get. You can say that, okay, so this works in programming as well. So that's why this works. But then that's the whole argument of, hey, if you mess up when typing, it's going to give you an error. But no, you can still do stuff like this and it doesn't give you an error. So, the beginner approach argument is, nah, as a bad argument. But yeah, so now I'm going to have to change all of this stuff to globals because update. Now, to be clear, GDevelop is still better than the alternatives. And that's the only reason why I'm staying here. It's because GDevelop, despite a craptacular update, it's still better than the alternatives. It's not because it's a good update. It's winning by default at this point. Yeah, which isn't exactly something to be proud of. But yeah, you can still do stuff like this. I'm gonna have to make updated videos now because all of my videos tell you you just create the variable right here. I expressly say it so many times because I was so confident that GDevelop just worked like this, right? You'd think when you get to number 5, they would have fixed stuff like this. But no, they've been improving. They changed the variables so many times. Because I remember not too long ago, if you made a mistake or something like that, it would show up as red. And then they changed it to just show up as blue, no matter what it is you typed. So it was a thing before. Not long ago, it was a thing. And then he put it to, okay, it's fine. Let's just put it to blue. And now it's like, now it gives you an error. It doesn't work completely. And it just, yeah. What the heck it did? These guys, man. Just make up your minds. Jesus Christ, look at all these things that I'm going to have to change. And again, I can't leave them as I could, because they still create the variables. So I'm thinking maybe I still just leave it that way and I ignore this thing exists. This part of the code. But then what if I need to interact with it? How is it going to interact well? I don't know. I think I might just gonna have to redo all of this. I'll just take 2 or 3 days and just do it slowly, and so I don't go insane. But yeah. Anyways, that was my whole point on this whole stupid thing. Anyways, this video is gonna stay because it is what it is, and I'm just gonna work on the rest, and let's see how this goes. Anyways, till hopefully next video, devlog with an actual game, because I hate this so much. I just want to make games. All right. Till next time. Hope you guys have a good time. Peace out.